Yes, welcome to the 6 o'clock show. We're offering up a sizzling lineup that's all sunshine and no shade.
No shade tonight. We're meeting a man who can help you keep your cool when life's stresses are dialing up the heat. The Iceman himself, Wim Hof, is checking in for a chat.
Oh, that's got to be freezing. Dublin's GAA's losses, Boston's gain. We're catching up with All-Ireland All-Star Paul Mannion about his incredible career that's recently seen him score points stateside.
And standing by in the Six Kitchen this evening is Sham Hanifa. What's on the menu, Sham?
Today I'm going to share a really simple recipe, vegetarian dish, a crispy hen egg. So basically it's spiced chickpeas coated in the eggs and then breadcrumbed in.
All right.
Really interesting. Okay. That sounds good.
Absolutely. And keeping Sham company is the always cool Conor Pope. And tonight he's bringing back his consumer question mailbag.
Yes, so if you have got any questions for Conor or comments on the show, here's a quick reminder of how to reach us. You can send us a message for free on WhatsApp to 083 360 6060. You can pop us an email to 6@virginmedia.ie.
And find 6 o'clock show on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram using the hashtag 6VMTV.
Time now to meet an adventurer who can count celebrities like Beyonce and Gwyneth Paltrow as fans.
Oh yes, he's climbed Everest wearing only a pair of shorts, ran a marathon in a desert without needing any water, and holds Guinness World Records for fastest half marathon run barefoot on ice.
He is also a big believer in the benefits of breathing and cold therapy. But before we meet the iconic Wim Hof, let's watch him helping celebrity dancer Diane Buswell take a leap of faith.
Oh, sorry, I'm so sorry.
Easy does it, man. It's okay.
Why can't I do this? Why can't I just commit to it?
You say goodbye to the past. Yes, you do.
Come on,
She's
Diane.
gonna do it. Make it conscious. You are there. Come on.
Yep, okay.
Diane, 5, 4.
She's gonna do it. She's gonna do it. I know.
2, 1, go! This is a big victory. Yeah, Diane! Yeah!
Oh, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Oh, my God. Please welcome wellness guru and Iceman himself, Wim Hof, to the show. Hi, Wim.
Hi, guys.
And of course you're outside.
You just say again?
I said, of course you're outside.
My right side.
We're just saying, Wim, of course we are interviewing you and you are enjoying nature. You're in a park, as you should be, because as you said, that's where we should be as humans. We should be outdoors more. You're very welcome to the show. It's lovely to talk to you tonight.
Thank you. Thank you. It's an honor. And yes, it is time that people begin to realize that the answers are in nature, and nature is around us. Even in a park, the cold water, I tell you, is the most direct, if you immerse into the cold water, is the most direct way to go to the deepest awakening of our physiology. And then it gets within our control. And that's amazing. There it is. And it is scientifically proven. So now it is getting into mainstream, and that's what I wanted. I want everybody to be in control over their happiness, their strength, and their health. That's my message.
It's absolutely amazing. Freeze the Fear. It's an incredible series. You and I both watched it.
Yep.
And we saw Diane there jumping off a very high bridge, and a great achievement from her. But you said that she was letting go of some of the bad things that were in her life. Is that what you're looking to achieve on Freeze the Fear?
Yes, to dig so deep that the traumas come up and they are visible, workable, tangible, and able to be cleansed, processed by the person itself. That gives great confidence if people feel that they have the tools to work out their trauma. And that is what I do. What I found in nature is able to go to the deepest in the physiology. And the first thing you want to remove is old blockages, old fears, old trauma. And now we found the keys to do so. And I'm very thankful to the BBC to make it into the mainstream, to make it understandable, visible, sensational, practical. It's all done. So that's why this is a success, because people understand, they recognize what is going on. It's real with real humans.
Wim, can you bring us back and tell us what first attracted you to the cold and to being able to submerge yourself in such icy water? Where did the journey begin for you?
It began in the park where I'm right now, in Amsterdam. So also for people in the city, there is no excuse. Nature is always there. Cold water is one of the harshest elements of nature. Most aggressive, most direct, very painful in the beginning because it brings us out of our comfort zone. And this is what I felt the first time I went into the cold water. At the age of 17, I felt to go into that water because I was a thinker. Thinking and traditions, esoteric disciplines, languages, religions, beliefs, philosophies, the whole thing. So I kept on thinking like a hamster it was, a chatterbox. And you keep on thinking. And then I felt this attraction to go into cold water. I just felt it, gut feeling. So I went into it, and that the revelation of this is it. You know, this is deep connection. This is what I was looking for. And it doesn't come if you only philosophize. If it doesn't come if you only philosophize and go into traditions and religions. You have to practice.
Wow. All right. Well, we've got an extra guest on the show now.
I know, the next generation of little ice people.
Okay.
That's Spider-Man just visiting me. He's 4 years old. He's playing around with me, and he's doing it all.
It's fantastic.
And you know, this little child, when he was 1 year old, every morning in the frozen over lawn in the garden, he went with me spontaneously, barefoot out in the snow. They have no problems. What we do is overcomfort our children, and then they become weaker. And when they become sick, we think, oh yeah, that happens. We cannot do anything. We have to go to the doctor. No, you have to make your children more stronger. Go back into nature. Nature knows. We are hardwired to be stimulated by the forces of nature. And it all goes playfully. So there is no force in that. But the force you get from it is an ability to be happy, strong, and healthy. And that is what every mother and father should want for their children. The guarantee to be strong, happy, and healthy. And that's what it's my message.
Yeah, it's empowering.
Absolutely empowering. Like, from that time you jumped into the icy cold waters in Amsterdam, like, you have lived this way. You've climbed some of the highest mountains in the world in just a pair of shorts. You've swam long distances under, like, meter-thick ice. You've done all kinds of things. You've gone through the desert without water. So how do you achieve these things?
This is all focus, concentration. You learned when you go into the cold, you can go into the heat. You can go into the height. I did a marathon barefoot on 5,000 meters on the Mount Everest. I climbed to all in shorts and barefoot. I did it. And then to the death zone on Mount Everest in shorts. The people should be understanding that we are capable of so much more than we think we are, and what we learn in our schools and what is known in science. We have shown how to beat inflammation, which is the cause and effect of disease. We have shown how to bring it down, maybe not totally, but for a big deal. And that makes us more confident and powerful within ourselves. And we have lost that ability. And this is what I wish to give to people. How do I do it? I just take the understanding that we have the right, the birthright, to be happy, to be strong and healthy. Only because we are more or less alienated from nature, thus weakness comes in. If we only live more, expose ourselves more to in nature, then the strength comes back, hardwired, and our birthright to experience and feel. Yeah, and that's it. And the cold is a very shortcut into that deep physiology. So that's why I'm training people successfully, very rapidly now in one day, how to access into their deeper physiology. They're having much more energy, much less stress, much more health, much more mood regulation. And yeah, that makes people so confident within themselves. And that's pure spirituality.
And Wim, I'm sure you've had your cynics over the years who say, you know, breathing techniques can't possibly achieve these, you know, these physiological and physically seemingly impossible tasks. But the science has backed you up. The data is there to prove that it is effective. For people who want to adopt your practices, what breathing can we do? What little things can we do in our day if the thoughts of an ice bath are just too ambitious? What can we do ourselves to try and unlock some of that power we have within us?
It's very accessible, effective, and scientifically proven that we now, through these breathing techniques, are able to retrieve old trauma, to make ourselves very alkaline, to cleanse ourselves into the lymphatic system, which is deeper than in science was thought possible, but we have proven it. So how much does it take to make you feel much better during the day? That takes about 15 minutes. That means the investment is by far the outcome. The outcome is during the whole day. They have seen, doing these breathing techniques, that you cleanse your blood and it becomes alkaline. 5 hours later, they took the blood again, and then they found out it's still alkaline. And alkalinity is the foundation for performance. So if you do these breathing techniques, which are on our website, it's for nothing, it's for free, it's over there, and it's already downloaded 50 million times or something, because it works, and people talk and pass it on because it works, and it's so simple and so powerful and scientifically endorsed. So just look on the website and you will find out, or on YouTube, my name, breathing tutorials, Wim Hof, the Iceman, something like that. I never look myself because I just practice myself.
well, the thing is, like, you're going to a whole host of celebrities from A to Z. You've got this very successful TV show now, Freeze the Fear, but now a movie is being made about your life. How do you feel about that, and who's going to play Wim?
Yeah, that's Joseph Pines. And he's become very respectful. We are. It's not like friends. Of course, he is very friendly, and we have become friends. But he's a very professional, classic kind of actor. I like that. I like a person who really wants to embody the person's character, and does his utmost to do the exercising. I mean, he is learning how to do the splits, to stand on one arm, to stay like more than 20 minutes in icy water, and all kinds of things like that, and climb mountains like I do. I'm going to see him in next week. He's going to follow my program in Spain, where I will be giving a summer retreat, and we all will go 15, 20 minutes into icy water. I will test him on his splits. I will test him if he is able to stand on one arm, things like that, and to do 100 push-ups in one breath. This is what I do. This is what I do with great people. But in short, I'm very honored that people are making a Hollywood film about my life. I'm a man on a mission. I want to bring happiness, strength, and health, accessible and powerful, scientifically endorsed, for every person in the world. Humans are beautiful. only they have to find their beauty.
Well, what a way to finish.
We have to finish on that note.
Absolutely
Wim,
brilliant.
It has been a pleasure talking to you. So interesting. We wish you continued success. And we can't wait to see you accept the Oscar with Joseph next year when he takes to the stage. Thanks so much, Wim. Take care.
We are strong!
And we have to say, don't go trying any of Wim's extreme experiments yourself, as is. We're all done in controlled environments. So maybe just a cold shower at the end of your daily shower.
A few breathing exercises and a cold shower. Up next this evening, we're talking about the relentless drive needed to chase top titles with former Dublin GAA star Paul Mannion.
We'll see you back here very soon.
Time now to chat to the former Dublin footballer whose accolades include 7 Leinster titles, 6 All-Ireland medals and 3 All-Star awards. And that's to name just a few.
Here to chat about hanging up the blue jersey, what's next in his GAA journey, and for Martin to try and convince him to come back and play for the Dubs. Would you please welcome Paul Mannion?
Hey, Paul.
Hey, Karen. Hey, Martin. How are things?
We're good. Listen, you're joining us from Boston tonight because you are, of course, playing for the Donegal Boston team. What is it like over there? How are you getting on? Are you basically like on a J1 for footballers?
Something like that. Yeah, Karen. I'm probably a little bit too old to be coming out here, but no, it was an opportunity popped up when I was changing jobs and starting a new one in August. So I had a couple of friends living out here and they asked me to go out for the summer. So I said I'd go for it. It's good fun. They run championships obviously here over the summer and they take it very seriously. It's a little different at home, 13-a-side games and yeah, probably a little bit more rough than what you get at home as well. But a lot of fun. There's a lot of kind of J1ers and other inter-county lads that are coming out here for the summer as well after maybe their inter-county championship is finished at home or their time off as well. So it's a really nice mix and yeah, kind of getting the best of both worlds and enjoying the kind of holiday as well, but also getting to train and compete as well. It's just good fun.
Wow. Does it feel more challenging? Like, have you really had to step your game up as such? Like, is it kind of, you know, more challenging than what you'd be used to? As you said, like, it's a bit rougher than what you are used to.
Yeah. Like, well, it's different kind of game. It's and the temperature as well. You're training in like 25-degree heat almost some of the days out here and playing matches. So that's been tricky to get used to that. But yeah, obviously some of there's probably a little bit more expectation on lads that have come out for the summer and have been playing inter-county before. So yeah, you feel a bit of pressure, but look, it's good fun as well. We want to win the championship and we train hard as well. But people are here to have fun and enjoy the summer as well, which is nice.
Well, we hope that you're eating better than most people would if they were on the J1. Because while you were playing for the Dubs in 2018, you handed the team nutritionist quite a challenge when you decided to go vegan. Why did you want to do that?
Yeah, I did that at the time. I've actually since parked the kind of vegan aspect for it. I did it for about 2 years. It was really, really tough. But no, I wanted to just do it. I wanted to give it a try, but it's something I've been thinking about for a while. And I finally kind of moved out of the house at the time and away from the mother's cooking. So she'd obviously cook and be big meat dinners and delicious as well. So it was hard to say no to them. But when I moved out, I was like, I'll give this a try. And just from a kind of a more kind of healthy and sustainable eating point of view. And I was really enjoying it. But after, about two and a half years doing vegan, I just found it quite tough. So I've kind of stripped that back a little bit, but still eating mostly plant-based vegetarian meals, and I'd have like a shellfish or seafood the odd time as well if I was eating out. So I've just found now a bit more balance. I just eat much less meat, but can still enjoy food a little bit more.
Yeah. Well, you see, eating the right food so you can keep your fitness up. Yeah, absolutely. During your time with the Dubs, Paul, 7 Leinster titles, 6 All-Ireland wins, the All-Stars, countless league championships as well. But you decided to step away in January of 2021 after the 6 in a row. You stepped away. We're a year and a half on from that. Are you still happy with your decision? Because I'm not.
Yeah. No, I am still happy with the decision. It was was obviously a really, really tough one at the time, but it's opened up a lot of doors for me now recently to do different things. And yeah, that kind of sounds a bit silly. I keep saying different things, but it's as simple as like even social gatherings with friends and family, to like a soccer league I've joined over the last couple of years, or a bit of golf, and still being able to train and play hard with my club, Conor Pope, and being able to compete for county championships and for All Ireland championships there, hopefully again this year. So I kind of just feel like I've got that little bit more bounce back, if you will, and still able to enjoy the game that I love. So yeah, happy to keep it going this way for now.
You played at the highest level on a team that, you know, are regarded as the GOAT, the greatest of all time. So, you know, stepping away from that when you were still on, you're in the prime of an inter-county player's career. But then you made the decision to step away from the club as well and head to Boston. How did that go down with the club, and how did that go down with the family?
Well, I'm still going to be going back to the club now in a few weeks, so I haven't stepped away from the club necessarily. I've club championship in August, which I'm essentially preparing for out here. But no, I made sure when I was going away from summer that I cleared that up with the club, with the captain and with the manager, and they were both supportive of it and understood. So yeah, once I'm back August, ready to hit the ground running and get training again with them, then it's all good. But yeah, it was, of course, stepping away from Dublin again, a difficult decision, but just thankful that I had so many great years with them, and to have enjoyed so much success. Like it was, you say it was, I think it was 28 when I stepped away last year, 27, 28, and but like you're from a very early age, probably in my teens, I was kind of, sport was always my, you know, my priority and kind of taking over my life, and I just wanted to, kind of prioritise other things a little bit more.
Yeah, and like Paul, like you say, like for Martin, you have an absolute ball going to the matches, watching Paul and the likes.
Even with his blonde tips, it's all right.
These are bad.
I am here for the highlights, by the way, Paul. But like that, for you, like the slog that goes into being a footballer at your level, people probably don't realise that you can miss weddings, holidays get cancelled. So where do you get that drive? Like what makes players like yourself put on the jersey and make those sacrifices? And oftentimes, you know, the friends and family that you surround yourself with, they are making sacrifices too. So where does that drive come from?
Yeah, that was actually something I sat down with Ardlo Hamlin, Dougal from Father Ted recently with the AIB. They're doing a campaign around that question that you just asked me, what drives players to do this? I had to say to him, geez, Ardlo, you wouldn't believe the amount of 9 a.m. Sunday masses I've missed over the years, going to training and play matches and that kind of thing. It is obviously a huge commitment, but like you do it again and again and again. Like you drive to Timbuktu to go training or to play matches when you're in that zone, when you're competing for championships. Why do we do it? It's a good question. Like you do it for so many different things, for family, for your club, for success. Obviously, the chance to be in Croke Park on our final day or provincial championship day. So there's lots and lots of things that go into it. But look, at the end of my career, I wouldn't change anything for the world. Like I'm very glad with everything I've put in, and I've absolutely no regrets at all.
You said that at the moment you've no intention to go back and play inter-county football again, and Desi Farrell has made it clear that the door is open for you. The new training kit, by the way, is gorgeous, and it will look really great on you. The embossed crest, really great. You know, so.
Yeah.
But knowing that door is open, I mean, you know, is that a good thing? Is that something? Well, if I do change my mind, I can go back.
I think so. Yeah, like I've always said I only take things 1 year at a time, and I honestly don't mean that to be a pain in the arse for anyone to be thinking like, is he coming back? Is he not? I can honestly say now that I'm happy, and I don't plan on going back next year. But when I stepped away, and they said that to me, that the door's always open, and that has been the policy with Dublin for years. Like I of course, I was appreciative of that and grateful because, as I said, I don't plan too far ahead. I never have, because plans just change and something else might pop up. So for now, I'm just very happy to bring myself to Crokes and to try and go as far as we can again this year with the club championship. And if there ever comes a day where I do get that go back with Dublin, then I won't hesitate to say it to someone, to Desi or to other lads. Yeah.
And what about this weekend, Paul? Are you going to try and catch the quarter-final against Cork?
Oh, definitely, yeah. I'm going to be jumping into one of the lads' house who has GAA on the rocks, or find some pub. There's one or two of those Irish bars over here in Boston, so
For sure.
I'll certainly catch it somewhere. Yeah,
for sure. They're not short on the Irish bars. Listen, Paul Mannion, great to talk to you tonight. If people want to see more of your chats with Ardla Hanlon, the first episode of The Drive launches across AIB's GAA social channels from June 29th. For more information, you can visit aib.ie/GAA. Thanks a million, Paul.
Good to talk to you, sir.
Thanks, Ken. Thanks, Martin. Take care.
Oh, now, whatever your consumer woe, you still have a little bit of time to get your questions into Conor Pope's mailbox.
That's on the way after this break.
Welcome back to the show. Now, our next guest is the king of all consumer capers. That's why Conor Pope gets his own jingle.
Money, 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 must be funny in the rich man's world.
And as you can see, we spent big on that.
You really did, and I was worth every cent of it.
Of course you were.
Sure
I really was.
were.
Anyway, you've rummaged through and we've come up with a whole load of problems that need to be
Yeah,
solved.
this is my favourite item. I love this. 'cause
I know.
It's like, what could possibly go wrong?
Yeah, your first mystery question comes in from Neve in Castlebar. I was due to fly from Dublin to London last weekend, but the flight was cancelled at the last minute and I had to make my own way home from the airport. I applied for the refund and then booked an alternative flight, but now I would like to get compensation for the cost of the taxi to and from the airport, as well as the hassle of missing a night in London and all the rest of it. What are Neve's rights, Conor?
Well, there's a difficulty here because she got the refund. So once you apply for a refund, right, the responsibility of the airline is over. So let's say a flight is cancelled and you don't apply for the refund. They have to look after you. They have to put you in a hotel, or they have to give you your meals or whatever it might be, and they have to cover your reasonable expenses. And they have to do that until they can get you to London, and she was flying to London. Bottom line here is she's not entitled to any compensation depending on why the flight was cancelled, okay? And also, see, so if a flight was cancelled through no fault of an airline, well, then compensation doesn't apply. But you are still entitled to reasonable expenses. Now, I don't think she'd be able to argue that reasonable expenses would be a taxi fare from Dublin to Castlebar or whatever it might be, because they could say, well, you could have taken the bus.
Yeah.
So you know, she could have easily racked up a bill of 300 quid.
Wow.
And there's no
She's out of
airline in the
pocket.
world are going to cover that cost.
Yeah. A taxi
it's
from
bad
Dublin to
news.
Castlebar is an expensive taxi.
Yeah.
It is indeed. And now, if it was late at night and you needed to
That's
get
what I
home,
was
what are
thinking.
you
It was
going
the
to do?
last
Because it's
flight
not
out.
like there's going to be any buses. But I suppose people sometimes panic in those situations. And like an alternative would have been, of course, in times past, to get a hotel. A booking to a hotel.
Yeah.
But as we all know now, trying to find a hotel in Dublin is just outrageous. You just
A
can't do it.
return taxi to Castlebar would have been cheaper.
Absolutely.
All right. Okay. This was sent in. Hi, Conor. I joined a dating agency, but my circumstances changed as a family member got sick, and now I can't meet anyone. I asked for my money back, but I was told no. Am I entitled to my money back?
I'd say absolutely not. Now, it really does depend on the terms and conditions of any individual website. But the website would probably argue that while they might have huge sympathy for this person because their circumstances are changed, it's not their responsibility. It's not their fault that this person's family member has become ill. So you'd need to check the terms and conditions. Now, what I would suggest that what this person does is, you know that whole phrase, you catch more insects with honey.
Honey,
Like, rather than going in all guns blazing saying, I demand a refund, it's much better in that situation to take a softly approach and say, listen, I wonder, could you pause my membership for a year or for a year and a half or whatever it is? Because there's no way they're going to give her the money back. I say
is a
her.
good idea.
There's no way, it could easily be a him, but there's no way they're going to give him or her the money back. Say, listen, my circumstances have changed. I can't go on any dates for the next 6 months, for next year. I don't want to waste my membership. And any agency, and it doesn't have to be a dating agency, any business that would refuse to entertain somebody in those circumstances is just really mean-spirited. But the whole idea of something like that is you don't have any right to it, and when you don't have a right to something, your best bet is to try and talk to them and convince them that they need to do the right thing. And in this case, the right thing would be to pause the membership. But in terms of getting a refund, I'd say there's no chance.
This is a good one. Claire from Tipperary. Are expensive sun creams much better than really cheap ones? And how do they work anyway?
Well, no, they're not. And I'm not just saying this because I'm an expert on sun creams, because I'm not. Because I grew up in the 1970s and 80s. But sure, nobody put on sun cream. We're all burnt and pulling on calamine lotion every
Cooking oil.
Our parents were just like, yeah, cover yourself. I had a red-haired cousin who was encouraged by me to put on cooking oil to enhance his tan. He was never going to get a tan.
Oh, God, love him.
But it was a different time.
Yes.
And anyway, but the bottom line is, Which magazine, the consumer group, Which magazine in the UK, every year does surveys on suntan oils, and they review the really high-end one and the cheapest chips ones in Aldi and Lidl and Tesco, the own brand ones. And the difference in price can be like €3 for the own brand, €50 for the branded product. There's no difference in quality. They all do the same thing.
The science is the same in every bottle.
Exactly. And in fact, sometimes the cheapest chips ones are better. Now, the way they work is they have a lot of them have zinc particles in them. And what zinc does is it reflects the sunlight as it hits your skin. So instead of it all hitting in a concentrated way, the sunlight is diffused when it hits your skin. And that's one of the ways it works. And then there's an organic compound that's another way of working. And the organic compounds, instead of diffusing the sun, absorb the sun or absorb the rays of the sun. So there's two different ways they work, and then you have to remember that there's UVB and UVA. They're not the same thing. One of them burns and the other ages your skin. So you need to make sure that you have a high rating for UVB and UVA.
Okay. Paul in Greystones says, I keep hearing about rising mortgage interest rates and wonder if I should fix. I have a good low rate now, and if I fix, it will climb, but I just don't know if I will save myself money in the long run by doing that.
Okay, well, first thing I'd say here is I'm not a financial advisor. And I don't want to tell Paul
But you have your own sting and jingle.
I do. And that's part of my qualifications. I think that's one of the things in the financial advisor exams. Do you have your own sting? Yes, I do. But what I would say to somebody is you don't fix a mortgage to second-guess the market. So you don't say to yourself, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fix the mortgage because I think I'll beat the market. I'll make money that way. What you do is you fix your mortgage because you want security for the next 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. So if you can get a fixed rate mortgage for 5 years that you can say, okay, well, I know I'll be able to pay this amount for the next 5 years. Well, then it might make sense because we know that the European Central Bank is going to increase its rates probably 3 times between now and December. So if you're on, let's say, a tracker mortgage and they increase their rates by 1/4 of a point in July, 1/2 a point in September, 1/4 of a point in December, you're suddenly looking at a 1% increase. That's going to take a lot of money out of a lot of people's pockets. Now, if you could get a fixed rate mortgage that was less than 1%, you might say, okay, well, listen, I might do that because I know then that I would have the security. Because one of the things we don't know about the interest rate cycle at the moment is how high they're going to go. Like, it might be that interest rates go up by 3/4 of a point and then they level off and then they stay like that for a long time and then they start to fall again. Or they could go up to much, much higher.
Listen, stay with us. We can talk more in the kitchen because that's where we are headed next. Sham is going to make us some spiced crispy eggs.
Come back to us after this break.
Welcome back to the show. Now it's snack time in the kitchen with Sham Hanifa. Yeah, kind of an unusual dish tonight.
Unusual, yeah. But you're familiar with it. When you see them prepare them, it's like Scotch egg, you know. So I won't call it, I won't call it Scotch egg, you know, because it's not Scotch egg. So first thing first is basically you can boil an egg. It's normal egg. Okay, so I like to boil it for 4 minutes. If you're not sure, you can boil it for 5-6 minutes. People sometimes they worry about overcooked eggs or not. Do you know what I mean? So boil, cool it, peel it. That's it. Leave it to cool.
So is that going to be harder, slightly gooey?
Yeah, slightly gooey. But I put some in the oven earlier. So here, a bit of oil. We try to add spice into it. You know, my cooking always a bit of heat into it, you know. So a bit of onion. I use chickpea as a coating. I use canned chickpea, you know, because there's a bit of moisture inside already. So because we're going to blitz them up into a paste. Okay. So, you know, we're going to use that. So we're going to... And remaining of the chickpea water, you can make meringue out of it for vegan.
Yeah. Okay.
So, you know, you use the sugar and the water from it. Okay, so a bit of garlic. So it's not really a vegan dish, but close enough to vegetarian. Unless if you're vegan, you can take the eggs out and just paste it on the chickpeas the way it is. Okay. And then breadcrumb it, okay? So a bit of curry powder, coriander, cumin, Mix it in there. You can smell the spice go around. Bit of oil. So we just basically add the flavor into the chickpea.
And then they go.
That's it, you know, so mix it in there. And a bit of salt into it.
And when chickpeas are so bland, they're a good kind of vehicle for all this flavour.
Yeah, it needs to add something into it. You know what I mean? Curry is always the easy option because everybody loves it. So what you do then, I take this away, and the one I prepared earlier.
Get that instant smell of the cook.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know, so the flavor. So what I did, I blitzed it up. I don't even have to put water into it. You put a food processor, you get into a paste.
All right.
That's what you want, you know? So let's say if you're vegan, friends coming in, you just boil it up, you breadcrumb them, deep fry them, like a falafel.
Oh, lovely.
So what we're going to do now, we get the eggs. We'll get one here, put in here. Just use the glove, keep on rolling up. Don't squeeze it because the egg is soft.
Yeah, you don't want it to break.
No. And you know what? You know, it's everywhere, it goes everywhere. Yeah, so that's what you do. Just keep on slowly squeeze it in, like that. And then eventually it will cover up.
Not just put more
It
on.
makes that look really easy.
So easy.
I know if I was doing it
Platform.
4 hours later, it would be intense.
Don't squeeze it because it will burst, you know. And so that's like that. And then we're going to breadcrumb them.
Great.
So
There's
you're
an
going to
egg bursting in the corner of the studio.
Somebody dropped their egg, yeah.
So and then put it here away.
Okay.
And then a bit
Sorry,
of egg
did you say
wash.
that was corn flour or regular flour? What's that?
Regular flour.
Just regular flour,
Yeah,
okay.
if you view celiac, you can always use chickpea flour or corn flour, it's no problem. And then you have the breadcrumb, put this away.
And sorry, just into some milk then?
Yeah, it's just egg wash, milk and eggs.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're
Milk and
vegan,
eggs,
you can
okay.
use
Roll it
water.
in breadcrumbs.
Yeah, breadcrumb, pinhead breadcrumb. I have the fryer here. If you have deep fryer, it'll be easier. Throw it in the fryer. That's it.
Oh, that's
so
very satisfying.
there's two ways of doing it. If you
That's
can
gonna
slow
be
fry
delicious.
them like this, or you can go really quick fry. Quick frying, then basically you only brown them up and finish it in the oven. Or you can slow fry them like this. You just get it golden brown slowly. It heats through inside. Okay?
Very nice.
So what I've done, I got make a bit of sauce to go with it. So a bit of onion here while that's frying. I have a bit of sambal. Anybody who's familiar with sambal recipe in 60 anyway. So we're gonna fry that up a bit. I'm gonna put the sambal into it. Just gonna add a bit of a kind of tomatoey chili flavor to go to balance it up.
Okay.
That in Malaysia we call it egg sambal. So this a little bit of twist into it, you know.
Lovely.
Fry that in. So I'm gonna twist that in.
While that's sizzling away there, Conor, Stephanie and Kilkenny has asked, while I'm doing my weekly shop, I've noticed the words like handmade and homemade and artisan on the packages, and I wondered, do they actually mean anything? Surely some bread that is selling in big supermarkets wasn't actually made in someone's house. Is that what artisan means?
No, like I say, there's certain words that in recent times the Food Safety Authority have been designated as they must have a particularly legal standing.
Okay.
But up until about 2 or 3 years ago, you could call a particularly caustic form of bleach handmade artisan bleach, and you wouldn't be breaking any laws. But under the new rules, certain words like handmade and artisan, they have to have particular characteristics. Now, the characteristics can be quite complicated, but they don't actually mean that something was made in somebody's kitchen. So, you know, and by the way, I'm really concerned that there's just one of these in the thing.
Don't worry.
And
The oven is
we're going to
full
have a version of Hunger
of these
Games.
artisan
Oh my
eggs.
God!
So we have prepared earlier. So eggs into it.
Oh, lovely.
Okay, so we decorate them like that. I'm gonna let you cut into it. Turn this one off first. A bit of sambal go over it.
Oh, gorgeous.
You can serve with the salad if you want. And then I'm gonna turn this one off.
And how long would we leave them frying in the oil there, Sham?
If you want to leave it the way it is, like this, probably around 5-10 minutes. You know, slowly. That's already overheated there. You know. So if you're not sure, quick fry in the oven. Take it out like I did earlier. Sprinkle in the
Does it go into the oven at a high heat?
high heat, yeah, 180 for around 5 minutes. That's all.
Can
Just
Conor
want to
try
make
and
sure.
cut into that? I'm dying to see the inside of this.
Amazing.
Hopefully it's not.
Please do.
So I just
Hope
cut
it's
into the
still soft.
centre here.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I'm
Making a... Why don't
It's
you
gone hard already. It didn't go ooze.
Oh,
no.
gorgeous, Sham. Lovely job.
I don't care if it's
Fantastic.
gone hard. I'm just going to eat it anyway.
Do it. Looks gorgeous.
Well, I tried this one instead.
Yeah. The other
That
one
is all we've got time for tonight. A huge thank you to
Oh,
our guests and to
I just
Sham for tonight's tasty snacks.
We'll be back tomorrow from 6 to chat to hurler and pundit Joe Canning. So we'll see you at 6 o'clock tomorrow.
See you
Until then,
tomorrow.
take care.